comic timing can be deadlier than any tabloid, and Meghan's $14 as-ever raspberry spread just became a punchline on the world's biggest podcast stage.
No, I really am a middleman for jars of jam and tiny yogurts.
What? He works for Meghan Markle. Really
dad
tiny
is.
jams, harvestable jams.
Yes, exactly.
Made from the oils of Montecito.
If Jimbo Reynolds wasn't dead, I would say he is Meghan Markle. Adjacent.
Many people have likened the two.
Meghan Markle has weathered headlines before, but nothing prepared the Duchess-turned-mogul for her most recent time in the spotlight. It began with what should have been a feel-good sit-down. Entrepreneur Jamie Kern-Lama invited Meghan onto her self-help podcast for a chat about resilience. Cameras rolled, violins swelled, and within minutes, the Duchess's voice quivered with practiced fragility. She dabbed her eyes, spoke of pressure no mother should bear, and produced exactly 0 tears.
And she also is pretending like she's crying. We zoomed in just to see. There isn't a tear in sight. Dan, look at this. I invite the viewers to take a close-up look at this. Where's the tear?
A 2015 talk show clip, Meghan bragging she can cry left eye on cue in 3 seconds, went viral overnight. The hashtag Duchess of Drama topped X trends by dawn, and late-night hosts lined up punchlines like dominoes. But while the internet mocked the missing moisture, a body language analyst spotted something deeper. Scott Rouse, a veteran interrogator for the FBI, slowed the interview to half speed. He counted the rapid-fire blinks, clocked the asymmetrical shoulder shrug, and froze the frame on a smile that never touched the eyes. His verdict? Performed.
This is fake. She knows exactly when that happened. The eye search she's got going on there, that's forced and faked, as is the facial expression.
The clip amassed 1 million views in a day. Even sympathetic listeners admitted the coaching cues felt louder than the words. Rouse's breakdown didn't just puncture the moment, it primed audiences to watch everything that followed through a magnifying glass. Foreshadowing arrived in an Instagram story that should have been harmless. A friend thanked Meghan for a basket of homemade strawberry jam, but eagle-eyed followers zoomed in on the handwritten card. At the bottom, in looping script, were the letters HRH, Her Royal Highness, the very style Queen Elizabeth asked the Sussexes to retire for public use back in 2020. Royal correspondents pounced. Was this petty nostalgia or a deliberate flex? The BBC ran the headline within hours. Breakfast shows on 2 continents replayed it on loop. Critics called it entitlement in ink. Supporters argued it was a private gift, not a public brand. The debate raged, but a much bigger branding fiasco was already in motion. For months, Meghan's lifestyle line answered to American Riviera Orchard, a nod to her posh Montecito postcode. Then, without warning, the socials flipped. Say hello to as ever. Rebrands are tricky, but this one detonated on contact. First, Spanish Town Pereira's claimed the new logo swiped its 400-year-old coat of arms.
This relaunch has now descended into a farce, it would seem, because officials in the Spanish town of Mallorca have accused the Duchess of Sussex of copying its traditional coat of arms for the logo of her newly rebranded
Well, it's pretty close, isn't it?
luxury brand. It does look very, very close.
Their mayor admitted they couldn't afford an international lawsuit, but the accusation alone made global press. Next, Ryan Reynolds cracked on Conan O'Brien's podcast that his dad secretly jarred jam made from the oils of Montecito for Meghan. The gag went viral, out-memeing the brand's own launch video. When ridicule becomes free marketing for the wrong team, you know a narrative is slipping. Unfortunately for Meghan, the heat was only rising. Enter Robin Patrick, a diabetic mother from Maryland who claims Meghan's Netflix-featured bath salt recipe left her with catastrophic burns. Medical photos splashed across tabloids alongside a demand letter. Settle for $10 million or face court. Legal analysts debated the merits. Himalayan salt plus arnica on compromised skin can inflame ulcers. But the court of public opinion delivered a swift verdict. Brand negligence. Overnight, the Duchess's Pinterest-perfect influencer image collided with product liability reality, and faith in her Martha Meets Monte Carlo persona cracked like a glass teapot. As the lawsuit buzzed, two separate polls dumped salt of their own. One surveyed 4,500 Britons. 97% said King Charles should yank Harry and Meghan's remaining titles. Another mirrored the results stateside. Headlines shrieked, "Fed up Brits," and "Enough is enough." Courtiers whispered that Prince William, already furious over Harry's security lawsuit, would slash formal ties the moment he ascends. Whether palace gossip or strategic leak, the story hardened a sense that royalty itself is done playing nice. Just when you thought rumor mills were spent, the oldest tale resurfaced, that pre-royal Meghan partied as a so-called yacht girl for billionaire hosts. Years of fact checks dismiss the evidence as circumstantial, yet the story refuses to die, because reputation gaps invite rumor. This time, TikTok sleuths stitched blurry yacht photos to Epstein documentaries, racking up millions of impressions. No court documents, no verified manifests, but the damage is done in minutes. Perception, once cracked, becomes a funhouse mirror. Tears that never formed, titles that won't fade, logos that imitate, salts that burn, polls that thunder and whispers that linger. The week told a single story: the price of losing narrative control in a hyper-online age. Meghan can still pivot. Reinventions are her specialty. But reinvention requires credibility, and credibility is the one luxury money, or strawberry jam, can't purchase. So we ask you, master marketer navigating a sexist media minefield, or Hollywood operator finally out of tricks? Drop your verdict below and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter. Because in this royal saga, the final act hasn't even begun.